Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained. My name is DM Bloodworth, and as I spoke in my previous video, I'm going to be working on a project combining Fallen Earth and MYFAROG, The Coming. And I apologize for the background sound right now. I have to wait until I actually get into the game to turn it down. But I'm going to jump to that view very quickly and show you the beginning introduction of Fallen Earth, a massive multiplayer online game. And I'm going to switch views here. You can see here I have three characters. These are, some of my older characters that I'd, played a little over a year ago. And I'm going to run with Bloodworth right here for the purposes of showing you the beginning of the game. And let me just make sure that I am on the character, and I'm going to hit play. Now, once the game boots up, I can now turn down the sound effects. So let's see. It's been quite a while since I've actually played, so I'm looking for options. And I want to find... Well, I have these other options in my way. Let's see. Audio. Let's have no music. Let's tone down the sound effects to about 50%. Ambient. Oh, that's pretty good. Go down to about 50% on that. Voiceovers, we'll do about 70. Interface sounds, all right, we'll leave that. They have chat connection, chat things. We're gonna hit OK. And so here's a character I just created, and let's see how we can move his visual effects. So you can go into first-person mode, third-person mode. I'm trying to figure out how to actually just rotate them so you can see the front of them. A lot of times it's like, no, it's not tab. It's not shift. Sometimes view. Oh, that's something else. Okay, so movement. Let's work through these. So W goes forward. S goes in reverse. All right. You can strafe to the side, either side with the A and D. Very, very simple. Very, very simple control system. Now, Fallen Earth came out in 2009, so this is going to double as one of my 2000 to 2010 MMO reviews or previews of games that had been released during that decade, that I've either played or was able to find that they're available for us to take a look at. I'm going to make one modification to our presentation because I can see that that is going to cover. Nope, I don't want it there either. Let's see, there's nothing going on in this bottom corner. So I'm just trying to optimize where we put things for your presentation. All right. Let's see. So press the tab or middle mouse button to toggle your aim mode. While in aim mode, you can swing or fire your weapon with your left or right mouse button. Alright, so we did movement already now, so aim mode. Alright, and so I can aim at him and actually... So let's see, move forward.
What? How did you get here? That pod was turned off!
Hello, can you hear me? Come to the computer terminal.
So you have to hit the tab key in order to do various things, and I can... So what I did was I went on his corpse and hit left key, and I was able to pick up some item. I is apparently inventory, so you can come over here, just go to your gear, and let's see if they have like an auto equip. Yes. So now I've equipped that. So the tab key is to be able to move your mouse and toggle on other things. And we have already done aiming.
We don't have much time, so I need you to listen to me. On the next computer, there's a region pod control terminal. Activate it. We've got to get you out of here before they get in. Now go across the room and activate the terminal. Please. It launches an artificial intelligence program to keep the region pods running automatically. That will help us stay alive. Especially you.
So I'm basically asking questions, and...
I promise I'll explain later. Right now, you have to get moving or you're going to die. Activate the terminal.
Okay, so across the room. And they show you the X. Where you have to go. I guess that's the same terminal that I was on, so...
We don't have much time.
Escape the Hoover Dam. I am going to accept it. Alright, so now I come over here.
Life Deck Protocol activated.
Good work. That'll keep the cloning cycle going. Now, I need you to come get me. I'm on the other side of the Hoover Dam. There's a battle going on, but I'll try to get you through it. This isn't easy to say, so I'm just gonna lay it out. You are a clone. Alec Master Scientists had you and other replicated humans created for experimentation and organ harvesting. I'm trying to help you escape. He's the general for life here in the Hoover Dam. Right now, his forces are under attack by an army of mutants called the Children of the Apocalypse, or CHOTA. I'm going to get you out. My name is Elena Winters. I'm the head LifeNet pod technician. I maintain and operate the cloning chamber that produced you. If you want to survive, you need to trust me. I know it sounds awful, but I never had a choice. All I know is, if you don't let me guide you out of there, the CHOTA are going to find you and remove a lot more than a kidney or two. I promise, I'll explain once we're safe. I hacked my workstation to get access to the dam's security cameras and door controls. I'll guide you from the cloning chamber to where I am using the radio in your clone collar. Now, head down the steps and through the hall. Don't worry, I'll put you on a safe path. Well, the safest anyway.
Citizens, we are on lockdown. Any unauthorized personnel outside of the living quarters will be shot on sight. Thank you.
That's Arrow Sai, Master's second in command. Believe me, she means what she says about killing you. You need to find a weapon. Ugh, Well, that axe might work.
So just searching around. So, yes, there is in fact an axe here. So once again, I open up the equipment, hit tab so you can toggle. Click on the axe with a right click and equip it.
Those White Crow are pinned down right where you need to go. You have to take them out.
Once again, the tab. I'll close the inventory window with the eye. Also check to see if I can pick up anything along the way.
Hey, over here! Before the guards spot you. They're still making clones, huh? I hope you're not itchy. I'm out of Sometimes clones come back wrong. If you're not itchy, don't worry about it. You look fine to me. You're a clone. If you die, you regenerate in the nearest LifeNet pod. You're practically immortal. They look like fresh recruits. You should be able to handle them. And if not, you can always come back and try again. They're called the White Crow. Mercenaries that work for the highest bidder. And around here, that's Alec Masters, the tyrant of the Hoover Dam. They look like fresh recruits. You should be able to handle them. And if... I'm out of ammo, but you shouldn't have any trouble.
Okay.
Alert command!
Now you can
Nicely
see
done.
that if you
See if
target
you can find a key on one of the guards.
the specific, if you target specific spots on the body, that's where you'll hit, and you'll potentially do more damage if you hit the head. Some more weapons here: basic heavy pipe, a crude shiv, and the key, which is what I need.
Go through the door and down the hall. There's one of Master's men standing guard in the next room.
So I see I filled in a slot for number 1. Quick key, so if I hit number 1, I'll see what that does. Not quite sure what it does yet, so we'll just come forward and kill this guy.
He got what he deserved. Now, before you leave, try to find a rifle on one of the corpses in here. I wouldn't want you to bring an axe to a gunfight.
Alright. And so he has a gun. I'll take everything. And now I'm going to tab, equip. Alright. So, aiming, we got aiming already. Radar and waypoints. Looting we figured out. Changing weapons. So to change weapons, hold down the control and move the mouse wheel up or down. So control. Alright, there we go. Okay. So I was able to load the weapon in, and then this is the right mouse. I get to toggle in a little bit more. So we'll move forward. Check the C.
Now you're headed for the medical bay. It's where they operate on clones. Be careful.
All units, report to the command center, now!
Let's see if I can get some headshots here.
Stand down!
Snipers! Holy shit! Take cover!
Your heads! Run!
Good work. But with all the fighting going on, you're going to need some med kits. The light bearers are experts in healing, so I bet they can help you.
Many thanks for helping us. We came to save these mutants from being slaughtered by Alec Master scientists, but I didn't think they'd be armed. If you hadn't come, we might not have survived. I am Jonas, one of the light bearers. We are many things, warriors, teachers, and healers like myself. We strive to harness the powers of Shiva's touch, what most people call mutations, and use them for good. I would speak further, but I must see to the wounded. Is there anything you need?
Bastards will be avenged! The Chota and their allies will pay! Kill them! Kill them!
Don't shoot! I need your help!
These guys look like enforcers. I think you can trust them.
The White Crow could be back any second. Shit. We've got hostiles incoming. I need your help to fight them off. You're mine!
Citizens, the dam will not fall. Prepare to die with honor.
Arrow's side got a bomb in the motor pool. I'll run things from here, but you have to disarm that bomb. Otherwise, everyone in the dam is dead. Okay, now we have to get to the reader. Ah, damn it! Oh, hell, they're coming in! Listen, clone, I got those two, but there's more coming. You... Bomb out of the dam before...
Hey! Over here! Never thought I'd be happy to see a clone. Maybe you can help me out. Turns out... Well, the thing is, the stairs are broken. Once you reach the bomb, there's no way to get back. And there's things down there. Don't worry about it. Clones are tough. The worst thing that can happen is you'll die and come out of a pod somewhere. The bomb's on an ATV. If you drive into the vault, I might have a chance. You see, you're a clone. You'll be fine. I'm not so lucky. The timer's ticking. The bomb's right below us. I'll lead you to it. Ah, shit! Underdwellers! Good job. Now get on that ATV and drive it into the vault. Have fun!
You could use your, you hold down the right mouse button and you can turn while driving forward. Okay.
Welcome to LifeNet, a product of Global Tech. If you're seeing this, you are dead. But don't worry, with LifeNet, death is just a minor setback. You may be feeling confused, disoriented, or even a little scared. It's understandable. You just had your vigorous, happy life interrupted by...
explosion.
Please, accept our condolences. But no more dwelling on the past. Right now, LifeNet is reconstructing your body. Thanks to our patent, fitness will... The magic of rebirth happens inside LifeNet's patented regeneration pod. And finest refined, and your perfectly cloned body comes out. You've also been fitted with a wireless neural scanner, providing dynamic syncing between your brain and the LifeNet database. Your memories will be... But wait, there's more!
Hello? Am I coming in? Clone, can you hear me? It's Elena Winters. Your stunt with the ATV saved the dam. It's thanks to you I'm alive to have this conversation. Even so, the battle took its toll. The dam fell to the Chota. The Chota got revenge on Alec Masters, but not before he added one last entry to his list of sins. Masters destroyed the LifeNet core, the mainframe for all the cloning chambers in the province. This has changed everything. LifeNet's creators never planned for this. They dreamed LifeNet would end the limits of a single lifetime and save humanity from its fear of death. Masters showed us the truth. People are afraid of death, but even more afraid of losing control. He sacrificed you and every other clone to keep anyone else from having access to immortality. So I did what I could. I rerouted your DNA through the auxiliary computers in the province, but it wasn't easy, or quick. It's been 4 years since you died saving the dam. The destruction of the core damaged the backup storing your DNA. Worse yet, your future cloning potential has been compromised. You're dying, and I don't know how much time you have. Once you die, you stay dead, just like the rest of us. There's one way to fix this. You have to find the alpha clones whose DNA makes up the LifeNet database. If you can integrate their undamaged DNA with your own, you can undo what Masters did and restore your immortality. The only clue I've found points to the LifeNet facility near Embry Crossroads. There's a LifeNet technician there who can explain the alpha clone's location. You're about to wake up in a LifeNet station. The computer there will let you choose where to begin your new life. Remember what I told you. You're special. You were created to be immortal. LifeNet can give you back what Masters stole from you. Don't forget that. And don't forget me.
Alright, so now I can choose. So I can choose to start at Clinton Farm, which is a support the citizens here need clones to protect them from toxins, blade, and such. Then there's Blown Claw Combat, the Chota need clones. And finally, Midway. So you can pretty much select where you're going to start off in. Midway is craft feuding traveler families, make play with the clones. So there are several factions in the game, and you'll eventually start gaining reputation with a faction. That will help you in a limited extent to increase your reputation with its 2 allies, and then there's the, you will decrease your reputation with its opponents. Let's see if I can bring up the faction wheel for you. Now, you can see here that there's attributes and there's skills, and you can increase your attributes and increase your skills by spending these attribute points, or available points to spend, and based on your the skills that you want to increase, you can. So there's stats. Now obviously, to increase your stats, it costs more to increase a stat than it does to increase a skill. Stats enhance your skills, so certain stats will, coordination, plus endurance is what your armor use skill will be based on. We're going to close this out, and let's see what other. So now it's starting to show some of the skills that I've already, picked up along the way during that starting sequence. So training cold snap, training always armed, training calibration, training offensive coordination, training dash. So I've picked up all of these different trainings. Let's see. Team social recipes pack mount mission map. Let's see, map. I think it's only going to show me the internal map. So let's see what else we got here. Factions. So here's the faction wheel. I'm not sure exactly how much you can see with this, but you can see that Chota has 2 two alliances. Chota is allied with Vista and Traveler. So Chota's at the very top. Its immediate enemy is the Enforcers, so that's straight across. So if a Chota kills an Enforcer, the Chota will lose faction standing with the Techs and the Light Bearers as well, but mostly with Enforcer. Same thing, Travelers and Light Bearers are polar opposites. And so the faction system in this game works where as you build up, faction points, you can then start unlocking skills along, that are produced by your faction or trained by your faction. You could also use faction-based weapons and, other types of equipment. And here it shows where the player stands, or the character stands, with these NPC factions as well. So these are the main PC factions, and then there's NPC factions of townspeople, bankers, Franklin's Riders, which is kind of like the Postal Service, Outsiders, the Human League, and Shiva's Favored. So quite a bit of depth in the backstory of this game. Blood Sports Attributes. So again, we have attributes and stats, and right now it's showing from 1 to 17, but those will increase as well. That's just my current maximum. So 11 to 17, as a matter of fact. I keep on hitting that same thing. I saw the one map. I haven't seen a global map yet. Let's see, this is the overview map. Let's see if there's a Grand Canyon province. They're just very, very tiny. You can zoom in and zoom out, but they're quite small. At least in this view, they're quite small. Once I get out of this place, you'll be able to see it a lot better. So let's see what I'm supposed to do. Let's start with Bone Claw. So what it did was it kind of teleported me to where my chosen starting place would be. I could talk to this guy, and he will give me my speaks. Give me experience points.
Get back alive, okay?
Now, these are all quest givers, and you can, gain information from them. I'm just going to try to get us outside so you can see what the outside looks like. And let's figure out. Oh, here we go. It's been a while since I played, so I'm trying to get all of this back from memory. And so now I'm out here. Now Chota tend to be more melee based. So I'm going to control and shift, and I go back to my axe. Alright, and then we go back to tab. And it told me to use my disruption on a blade dancer. So that's my so I hit tab, and I want to see which one is my disruption. So that's number 1 hotkey. So I'll go to a blade dancer, and I will hit them. Apparently just went up a level. Yes. All right, so name colors tell you how difficult targets are. All right, so I have to kill 1 to 4 more of them. And I could be spending these points and putting them into, putting them into various skills. Let's bring up a map. So now we have an overview map. It's still kind of small, but you can expand them by just doing a basic drag here. And so now it's showing me on the big map where I am. So midway, I'm guessing this is all around the Hoover Dam, so we're trying to scroll out. And so this is Sector 1. There are several different sectors, and each sector is controlled by by one of the factions. So Boneclaw is the main faction that I'm here. You can see PvP camps. So if you enter into those zones, you will be automatically toggled for PvP. There's Kingman, Midway, Odinville, Mumford. It's based on an Arizona, the Arizona map. So I'm assuming that many of these places are actually real places. And I know one of the main towns is Flagstaff, which I know is a real place. And we can go and look at all of the different sectors. And zoom in. I'm going to go back to the one I'm actually in right now. And it shows, and they actually show you different resources as well. So cooking science trainer, these are resource centers that are resource nodes that I can check out. The game is actually very heavy on crafting, and for a 2009 game, the crafting system in Fallen Earth was actually rated the 5th best of all time in MMOs. So let me just go back to character. Oh, that's crouch. Let's go back to character, and we'll see. I don't want to get killed while standing here. Let's go to, I guess we can go to attributes again. There should actually be, I guess this is, looking for an actual character window. Let's go to a spot where I know I'll be safe and I can bring up a character window. Where's the paper doll? Very strange. And there's an actual player. So there are people playing this game. So here's my character. And I don't see how to go here. So I can start increasing some of these stats. So if I wanted to increase my strength, you can see I can go up to a maximum of 17 if I want to increase my strength. Oh, I don't want to put 10 points in it. I want to if I put 5 points in it, it'll bring me up to a +1. 12 +1 modifier. And I want to do my coordination. I want to increase by about the same. my dexterity, my endurance. I'm just going to bring up some of my skills. I want to be somewhat bright. At least initially you should increase my perception. I want to increase a little bit. And we'll apply that. It's good to just to pick up a little bit of ability across the way. So now you can see some of my skills have increased. Now they're up to like 23 or 24 based on, you know, their maximum. So under here I can go with, you know, first aid, melee. So I want to increase my melee. And so let's see. I put just 1 point in melee, bring me up to level 2, and that's a +1. And always good to increase first aid, and I'll increase dodge. My mutations, I haven't really gotten too much into that yet. For this, I know this guy is going to probably try to talk to me, but I will come on down here and see. I probably have a mission turn in. Oh, I have to kill 4 of those blade dancers. That was the mission. All right.
Get him!
I press J for my mission journal. And I can go back to him and I'll pick up. And it shows on the top map over there, the small map on the top right hand side, where my mission objective is with the X. That up there, I believe, is the other player, so you can see where other players are in the game.
What brings you here? Best of luck.
Alright, and so now they show me where to go for my next mission. I have to go gather scrap copper. And those are those nodes that you see out there. So I'll rush over here. Rush the one that's close so you can see how this works. There's copper. You just right click on it. This will increase my geology skill. And my mining skill. So I've earned three points for training by doing that, and I've gained. And of course, there's no reason to avoid combat. You are gaining experience points while doing that as well. Keep on targeting the head, you'll see that you'll do more damage with those hits. Now, you just saw there that I just took some scrap copper off of him, and it also gave me part of my mission objective as well. So you can, when you get mission objectives, like gathering mission objectives, you can use that to fill in from any source. So you can get it from killing a mob, or you can get it from actually harvesting it. So here it says use the Y or your mouse button to activate this. So junk metal will also...
Man, scavenging sucks.
Alright, so I don't have the scavenging skill yet to do this.
I can't scavenge that shit.
So I'm going to look for another iron deposit. Or copper deposit, actually. And this will complete my mission objective. So now it's telling me that I have to go craft cheap ammunition. Alright, so I'll come to a spot that looks like it's fairly safe, and now I might want to put some points into, so crafting, press the L to open the recipe window. So I press L, and I have no recipes. So they're telling me to craft cheap ammunition, but I don't have any yet. So I have to get an ammunition recipe. So that was one of the books that I picked up, so I can just right click on this and use it. So now I press L, and look at that. Pistols and cheap ammunition. So what I need is, I have to make 60 of it. So So it's going to take 3 minutes to make a unit of 1 cheap ammunition. And each unit, I'm not quite sure, it probably makes 150. So this should give me enough. So in about 3 minutes, I'm going to complete this objective, or at least I should. Now you can go and continue doing things while your character's running that crafting objective. So I will tab to toggle and get ready for combat. They tend to, like, the one thing with their AI is they tend to overstep you. So a lot of times before they get to you, you're better off to like backstep as they approach, so that way you keep them. And again, so since it looks like I'm going to be doing quite a bit of scavenging, I'm going to come here and go to my trade skills and see scavenging. And maybe I want to increase my scavenging a little bit. That guy just healed me up. Let's see. I'm just conversating with this guy, so let me ask him how active has Game Pop been. I'm just gonna, I loved this. So I just heard it like a chime, so my crafting is probably completed. All right. So my mission objective, let's see. Oh, journal. So journal. Okay, well, anyway, so I'm going to head over to the Chota community over here, which is down inside this bowl. As you can see, surrounded by quite a lot of hostiles. Of course, it's always good to pick up some extra, but I want to actually enter into the Chota community. I was probably supposed to craft that that item inside inside the town to gain the experience for doing it and the mission objective. But you can see all these guys here are quest givers. And so ballistics training. That's probably
how can I help you?
To. But anyway, so that's a pretty good preview. Now, like I said, the purpose of this is to not only show you a pretty cool game back from 2009 that, like I had said, like I mentioned to the other players is chatting with, the game population, in Fallen Earth in 2009 was by far one of the better communities I've encountered in an MMO. And I'm just going to log out of this for a second. And let me just switch here. So the community that was in Fallen Earth when I first entered the game in 2009 was, obviously much larger, and the although it's kind of interesting still to see players playing it, but it was larger and it was very tight knit, and each faction it's a sandbox MMO, so players could figure out how they wanted to play the game in their own like a theme for their player groups or guilds or clans. The game calls them clans, and they so very different cultures of players had developed on the server, and my characters were always a member of outlaw biker clubs, and we used to roll around flagged for PvP voluntarily and just searching for different conflicts to have. And we controlled certain bars that were in the in the region that became known as the places that we would hang out in large numbers. And we would have periods of truces when people could come in, and we wouldn't fight on those particular nights, and we'd have various celebrations and just chats and planning sessions and such as to how we would negotiate different deals amongst different groups. And then once the truce was over, we would go our separate ways, and then the next time that we came together, we'd be right back to the old animosities and such. Every once in a while, somebody would break the rule, and then we would have to take care of them, even amongst our own groups sometimes. And so the community was very very tight knit and very role play oriented, much more so than I had encountered at that time with other MMOs. So it was very similar, very reminiscent to Star Wars Galaxies when that first came out. So Fallen Earth is a true sandbox. Now, looking at some of the game mechanics and looking at the atmosphere of the game, I can definitely see that translating to tabletop, MYFAROG, the coming, and that particular rule set and setting. It's just a matter of taking it's just a matter of taking like the character attributes and the skills and the, you know, the weapons and such. Now, weapons have the same, you know, numerical damage, you know, that anything else does. I think probably the biggest, you know, transfer is going to be, or the most difficult transfer is going to be attributes and how those impact everything. Since MYFAROG uses a typical, you know, 3d6 system for attributes, and these attributes in this game are basically a 0 to 100. But simple division will get you to the right ranges for what each of those 18 attribute points usually count for. We'll just easily convert over to a D100 system. And then the other faction, you know, faction weapons and faction skills and such will also translate. But again, those use a very simple point system. So a healing salve will, you know, heal something like 5 to 7 points, and that's, you know, points are points when you're dealing with hit points. So it will work out fine. You might just have to, or I might have to just adjust, you know, adjust the amount, adjust the dosage, if you would, of each thing, just to match up the difference between hit points in the video game and hit points in the, you know, the RPG, the tabletop RPG. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to continue doing previews of this and show you some more. The next time I pop into this game, I'll go on to one of my characters, you know, that's a bit higher level, and you know, you can see, you know, some more of what that character has, and how the faction system is actually, you know, demonstrating itself on that particular character. I have to get reaccustomed to playing the game. I haven't played it in probably a little bit over a year. And so once I get a little bit more comfortable with it, the next video will be less of a, you know, an unscripted and unchained view of the game, and more focused on, hey, I want to show you this specific thing and show you how that works in the system in the game, on the video game, and then I will show you how that has been transferred over to the pen and paper, you know, tabletop RPG of the coming. So once again, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, you know, please feel free to subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the, you know, the comments section. If there are any Kickstarters that you're interested in, or that you're pushing for yourself and you want to mention them in my comments section, I'll certainly take a look at them and see, to tie it in with Fallen Earth and the coming. If there's any you know, very specific, any games that are, you know, post-apocalyptic setting that you'd like to clue me in on, please, you know, certainly leave those in there. I'd like to take a look at them and see if there's something very similar to the strain of these two games that I'm talking about, and we can certainly go in there. So once again, thanks for joining. Hit the bell if you want to see upcoming uploads that I do onto my YouTube channel. The YouTube channel, as you already know, you're here, Unscripted and Unchained, and I hope to see you all on the computer screen sometime in the near future. Have a good afternoon.